Hello, and welcome back to Dishonored, with me, Meta York, the metest of all Yorks, which in of itself is a meta comment, thus proving my metaness. I don't know if any of those are words, but in this episode, I go where no citizens are allowed. Why? I'm an assassin. A wanted assassin. Ah, son of a gun. Well, at least I hope I have the highest bounty. If I'm gonna be a criminal, I might as well be the worst there ever was. I wanna be the very worst, like no one. What was I talking about? Oh, right. In this episode, I'm gonna see if I can sneak past these guards, get a bone charm, because I don't really, like killing. I'm not intentionally going for the evil path in this game, but since I kind of not great, and I'm playing this in the way that's most fun to play and most fun to watch, that's what's going to happen. So I'm going to try running past them. I've never tried this before, so I don't have any idea. Holy shoot, it works? That's all it took? I mean, seriously, every other time I had to, like, tranquilize them or go... Never mind. I really hate getting this one bone charm. That happens every time. Irony hates me. We used to date. I mean, it wasn't for very long, but, Then one time, she brings me to see her parents. Father's drunk, he says some things, I say some things. The next thing I know, she spends all her time trying to make my life miserable. But I don't want to be that one guy's ex, or girl's ex, so, I'm going to just say, and then the guards find me. I will get my vengeance on you, Irony. I need a parry. Parry and gratuitous finisher. Yay. What I want to talk about in this episode, though, now that I've murdered people and feel so wonderful about it. To be fair, this game gives you very few options to deal with people non-lethally, which is going to bring me to my topic for the next 2 episodes. I'm going to talk about the things I don't like about this game other than the story. I've mentioned that, and I think it'll become, further we go in, more self-evident why it isn't all that great. It's all-consuming. They make you listen to it a lot. Well, not always, but quite a bit. And it's not very well written, thought out, and has a massive amount of plot holes, as well as dubious thought process. And the morality system, which ties into that subject. Today I'm going to talk about why it hurts gameplay. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about why it's just a stupid morality system on an intellectual level. So, how does it hurt the gameplay? Or I should start with, is there a morality system? I'm sure a few of you who are watching this who haven't played the game are going, York, I haven't really seen any morality system. I mean, there's no, infamous choices I'm seeing are going on. Well, it's sort of subtle. It's not apparent, because you really don't see its effects until the last level, directly. And also, do you remember him? He was in the intro, like everyone else in this game. You will see him once later, and that will be it. But he's an important character, so remember him. To be fair to the game, that character we haven't met yet. I know, well, he's not really that important, he's a side character, but... strangely enough, he's better written than most of the main characters. I don't know what Arcane Studios thinking, but generally you use the well-written characters as the protagonists, and the flatter characters who can't hold much of a story, you put them to the side for just background detail. I think they got this backwards. But I'm complaining about the morality system and its adverse effects on the gameplay. So, I should first start by, like I've said, there is a morality system, good and evil ending. Basically the last mission in the game. Spontaneously, everything's bad if you went through the evil route. And if you went through doing the good route, everything's just perfect, happy-go-lucky. I'm exaggerating a bit, but that's the general gist. And they call it high and low chaos, but high chaos looks indistinguishable from evil, low chaos looks indistinguishable from cheesy good, so I'm calling them what they basically are, so. And what makes the difference between these two routes? Killing people. That's the only... Okay, there are some minor ways you can alter it other than just killing people, but 98% of whether or not you get a good or evil ending is just on body count. Specifically, if what the developers say can be counted on, which I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, being, the people who invented the games. If you kill less than 20% of the people on any map, you maintain low chaos for that mission. Anymore, you get high chaos, but if you keep getting low chaos in future missions, you can bring high chaos back down to low chaos. And this is actually, now that I think about it, it never occurred to me, but this is another proof of just how dumb this thing is. I literally did not know how this morality system worked until I literally looked it up. If you have to physically go online, look at flowcharts to figure out whether or not you get a good ending works, I think you're doing something wrong in game design. But anyway, now I need a key. And oh, please don't tell me what I think it is. Yes, it is. I am deathly afraid of those. I'm avoiding it. So I'm not going to talk about the intellectual implications of just killing people is the only decider whether or not you're good or evil. I'll come back to that later and in more detail. But in terms of it not being fun, the first thing is you have to do everything non-lethally. Since I know 20% sounds like a lot leniency, but there aren't that many people in these maps. So killing about 3 or 4 people, if you go over that, you're in high chaos, which means it's pretty much you don't kill anyone. And since, guards come in packs, if you have to kill someone, like, you remember that encounter I had just back there when I accidentally got caught by the guards? Thought I could run away from them? That single encounter already means that I've gotten a bad ending for this mission, or at least I've done it in an evil way. So I've already failed as far as this game's concerned. That's how quick and how unforgiving trying to get the good ending is. And the other problem is just dealing with people non-lethally. Granted, I understand that it's not as easy as doing it, when you kill someone. That's kind of understandable, but they only give you 2 options, sneaking up behind someone and suffocating them into unconsciousness, or tranquilizer darts, which is limited, hard to find, and you just have to buy them for the most part, because they don't come all that often. Which, I guess that's not surprising, how many people carry around tranquilizer darts of all things. But that doesn't help the gameplay. So basically, the majority of the game is just hiding, if you're on a good route, waiting for the right moment, then running by, then sitting, hiding, running, at the right moment, waiting. It's really unfun. And for a game that's about choice, if you want to actually get the good ending, this game has so many routes and so many abilities, you can't use any of them. For the good ending, there's basically only a single route you can take in any mission, because any other route will force you to do something which will most likely end with someone dying. So, like, when we get to the first part of the game where you actually get choice in your route, and the game will even make note of it, there's only one way you can go if you actually intend to keep a non-lethal playthrough, or a good playthrough, which is really what it is. So all that choice and, which way you take, that goes out the window. Also, in your abilities, so many of your abilities are completely unusable if you intend to take a good playthrough route. For example, the most fun abilities in the game, Rat Swarm, and I'd say Wind Blast, even though it isn't all that great. I find those the most fun to use, anyway. They're entirely unusable because, well, you can't kill anyone, and they tend to kill people. There's also another ability called Shadow Kill that you can't use, or Bloodlust. So, what that means is that 40% of this game's awesome magical powers, including the 2 most fun to use, totally unusable if you intend to get the good route. So, that's out the window. And a lot of the upgrades you get in this game, those are also entirely unusable because you can't kill anyone. Ever. Under any circumstance. For example, I'm trying not to kill people. I just, knock that guy out because I could. I'm only doing what's necessary, but the game doesn't recognize that. All it counts is body count. So, I'm evil, as far as this game's concerned, even though my intentions are not evil. What I'm getting to with all this is, it's just not fun. Seriously, going through the game on a good playthrough is really painfully unfun. And you can argue, you know, that, well, that's the point. It's making a point that it's hard to be the good guy in a bad world, that you need to work at it. That might be true, but this is a video game. These are entertainment products. They're made to be enjoyed. And if I am miserable playing a game just so I can get the good ending, that's kind of a problem. And you can argue, yeah, you know, there's art games that, you know, they intentionally make it harder for you to make some point. Yeah, they're also not fun, most of them. Most of them are also preachy and self-congratulatory. Really, I don't enjoy them or even think highly of their opinions, to be honest with you. But there are some that can be enjoyed, just normal games too. Most people love Half-Life 2, Bioshock Infinite. And, you know, those games have choices that might hurt the gameplay somewhat. You know, they're sacrificing your fun for the good of the story. And, you know, there could be an argument for that. I mean, that's pretty much what all Metal Gear games tend to come down to. A lot of them have some elements that intentionally is unfun to make some point about something. But the difference between those games and Dishonored is they actually understand how to tell a good story, where Dishonored is hopelessly naive, well-meaning, and why don't you let me jump? Okay, this is annoying. I'm just like caught on something. Alright, I'm teleporting. I have to admit, I'm glad that in the non-lethal run you can still use Blink. Blink is definitely one of the most fun abilities in the game as well, but that's not my point. But unlike Dishonored, those games have good stories, so I'm fine sacrificing something for that. So that's one strike against it. And the other is they still will, for the most part, choose gameplay over story because they realize that gameplay is still the most important thing in a video game. For example, in Bioshock, if you read some of the background info, originally the plasmids in that game were going to actually hurt you. Like they were mentioning that there'd be some negative side effect to using them, and it was implied that, you know, they help you survive the game, but the more you used, how it was going to be. Oh shoot. I guess I'm gonna have to go lethal. I don't have a choice at this point. Okay, that should keep him busy. Maybe I might have to kill someone. No, wait, I can just blink out. There we go. Yeah, that worked out okay. But in Bioshock originally, the plasmids were going to be detrimental to your health, so it was a choice between staying sane and healthy or surviving, and that was going to be interesting, but it wasn't fun, so they cut it out of the game. And I'm going to have to continue this pseudo-rant in the next episode. So until then, I'll see you around. But first, I don't know what I think. Well, thanks for listening. I suppose I should say that much. I enjoy debates, so if you have any comments or disagreements with what I'm saying, leave them in the comment section below. See ya.